Hi everyone. Last class in small scale business and enterprises, we have done till manufacturing industries, type of manufacturing industries. So today in this class, we will be doing about service sector. In service industries, what are the types of industries, how it is bifurcated. In manufacturing industries, we have seen how it is bifurcated on the basis of the capital. So in the same way, we will see with the service industries also. So now in service industries also or service enterprise also, there are three parts. That is your micro enterprise, small enterprise and medium enterprise. In micro enterprise, investment in equipment should not exceed 10 lakhs rupees. Any equipment that is used for your service enterprise, say computers. So whatever computers you have purchased for your service enterprise, it should not exceed 10 lakhs. Then only it will come under the category of micro enterprise. If it is a small enterprise, the limit should be between 10 lakhs to 2 lakhs. The investment in that equipment must be in between 10 lakhs to 2 crore rupees. It should not exceed 2 crore rupees. But if it is exceeding 2 crore rupees but not 5 crore rupees, then it will be called as your medium enterprise. And if it is exceeding 5 crore rupees, then it won't come under small scale industries. Okay. Now, what is village industries? Apart from manufacturing industries or manufacturing enterprise and service enterprise, there is another category that is your village industries. By the name itself, village industries. That means those industries which is located in villages or rural areas, uh, rural area of India. Okay, any industries that is located in rural area and produces any goods and renders any services with or without use of power, in which fixed capital investment per head worker or per artisan is specified by central government, which is revised by central government from time to time. So they are basically telling in this kind of industries, which is generally located in rural parts of the country, and they can produce any sort of goods and render any sort of services by using power or without using power also, where the capital is fixed on per head worker. So whoever the artisan who is preparing any artifact or anything, so per head that capital is fixed by the central government. So within that limit, within that fixed capital, it should come, the capital investment should come under that specified limit. Then only they will come under village industries. Now, what is cottage or rural or traditional industries? So they are not defined by capital investment. Beforehand, we have all defined all kind of industries or enterprises on the basis of capital investment. But here, this traditional industries is not defined by capital investment. So how it is defined? Here, any individual, they can come together with their own resources, with their private resources, and they normally use family people or family members and local talent, whatever talent they are having. If anyone is having this art talent, so they will go and put art or paint art on the pots and all, and they will sell it. If someone is having some talent of weaving or making mats out of this palm leaves and all, so they will be using help of the family members and the talent, the local talent which they have or which they got from their previous generation. They use very simple equipments or any equipments which they have created by their own talent. And capital investment, whatever the capital they have invested in these goods, are very small. They produce small products within their own premises and produce these goods with the help of indigenous technology. Indigenous technology, basically it means the local technology. Okay, the local technique or trick which you got from the from your ancestors or from the community which is passed on to you as a legacy. Okay. Now, what is the role of small business in rural India? Yes, it generates employment. Uh, Small businesses, what they are doing, they are generating employment for the local use. Those who are not that much educated, finding difficult to finding difficult in finding jobs, so they can generate employment for this sector of people where they can give some sort of training and they can employ them in that field. Prevent immigration of rural population to urban areas in search of employment. Yes, we have seen that people leave their villages and move on to town in search of job. We have seen in like many areas that people from villages, they are coming and finding job as a watchman, as a security guard over here, because they don't have that much qualification. So they move from rural to urban areas to find some job, some employment they are searching. So basically, if small businesses are providing employment, so they won't switch to that option of immigration. So they will opt for getting jobs in these small businesses. So it absorbs this surplus labor where like job are less and population is more. Like in town, what happens? Suppose for the post of security guard, say two posts are there, but the people who have applied are 1,000. So here the surplus labor is there. The government need to absorb them. So there is a problem of unemployment and poverty. How they will absorb this unemployment and poverty? So basically, this type of small business, they provide the opportunity of employment for these section of people, those who are migrating to the towns in search of jobs. It reduces income inequalities. Yes, it will reduce uh, as they will the small business, they will get the power of earning money through their own business. So basically, to some extent, it will also reduce the income inequalities. Accelerated industrial growth and credited additional productive employment, especially in backward areas. Yes, these small businesses have accelerated, have like there is a rapid growth in industries and have created so much employment for the backward areas, like say in Orissa, uh, a backward area, say Kalahandi. So there what happened, most of the people are from tribes. So there government is asking them to produce their own goods like pottery or some herbs and all, asking them to grow there, and then they are selling it on high prices. Basically, those kind of products are pretty high, the prices of these things, and they have very good demand, very pretty good demand in the market. There is a good demand because they know that it is not that adulterated, and people are loving these products. They have this hand touch to the products, and they are like purchasing these artifacts at high prices and decorating their houses. Okay, that's all for today. In next class, we will be discussing about problems of small business. So one by one, all the factors we will discuss. Thank you.